The Galactic Council had existed for thousands of years. It was made of powerful and ancient alien races who believed they were the true rulers of the stars. Whenever a new species reached space travel, the Council would test them. If the new species passed, they were allowed to join the Council. If they failed, they were forced to stay silent, never to rise again. For a long time, the Council had ignored Earth. Humans were late to the stars compared to others. Many alien leaders thought humans were soft. They saw Earth's culture of smiles, kindness, and polite words, and they laughed. To them, politeness meant weakness, and weakness had no place in the galaxy. One day, inside the shining council hall, the alien leaders met. The chamber was massive, with golden lights and floating platforms. Every race sat in their own seat, high above the floor. At the center of the room, the speaker of the council raised his voice. "It is time," the speaker said. His scales glowed under the light. "We will test the humans. Let us see their limits. They pretend to be kind and civilized. Let us discover if they can survive where true power is measured." A wave of agreement moved through the hall. Some alien races clapped their claws. Others clicked their mandibles in joy. To them, this would be entertainment. Another species to laugh at. Another weak race to crush. But not all was certain. A few alien delegates shifted uncomfortably. They had studied humans more closely. They had read reports of human wars, human survival in impossible climates, and human ability to adapt. Yet their warnings were ignored. The Council prepared the invitation. A message was sent to Earth. It was not a friendly message. It was a command. Come to the Council. Prove yourselves, or remain forever silent. On Earth, the message arrived in the hands of the United Earth Government. The leaders of humanity gathered in a secret hall under the oceans. Around a table sat generals, scientists, explorers, and diplomats. They read the words carefully. Some felt anger. Others felt fear. The Council was old, powerful, and arrogant. Humanity was young compared to them. Yet one thing was clear to all. This was a challenge they could not refuse. The human ambassador, a woman with sharp eyes and calm voice, stood and spoke. "They think we are weak because we are polite. They think kindness means cowardice. They want to see our limits. Very well, we will show them, but not in the way they expect." The room fell silent. Soldiers nodded. Scientists exchanged looks. Everyone knew what this meant. Humanity would go to the stars. Humanity would face the Council's test. And humanity would not fail. Weeks later, a single human ship left Earth. It was not the most powerful ship humanity had. It was not even the newest. It was chosen for a reason. It looked ordinary. The ship's design was simple, almost humble, compared to the great alien cruisers of the galaxy. But inside, it carried the best of humanity. A small team of diplomats, soldiers, engineers, and one young cadet were chosen to represent Earth. As the ship moved through hyperspace, the crew sat together in the common room. They spoke little. Each of them carried a heavy thought. The galaxy believed Earth was weak. The Council believed they would fail. But every human on that ship had made a promise to prove them wrong. The cadet, a boy barely 20, finally broke the silence. "Do you think we can really do it? The Council, they've crushed so many before us." The ambassador looked at him. Her face was calm, almost kind. Yet her eyes were cold steel. "Do not fear the test," she said. "Fear what will happen if they force us to stop being polite." The boy shivered. The others exchanged glances. They all understood. Humanity was holding back. The galaxy did not yet know what humanity could do when it was truly pushed. At last, the human ship reached the Council's grand arena, a massive structure floating between stars, brighter than the sun. Ships from dozens of alien empires circled it. Thousands of beings filled the viewing halls, waiting to see the humans arrive. They expected weakness. They expected failure. They expected another species to laugh at. The human ship entered slowly, without weapons raised, without any show of power. To the aliens, it looked unimpressive. They laughed and mocked. One alien commander whispered to another, "This will be quick. Humans will beg before the first trial ends." But inside the human ship, silence filled the air. No one laughed. No one smiled. They were focused, ready, and waiting. The council speaker's voice echoed across the arena. Humans of Earth, welcome. Today you will be tested. Today, we will see your limits. Are you ready? The human ambassador stepped forward. She did not shout. She did not bow. Her voice was calm, steady, and polite. We are ready. Show us your test. The chamber grew quiet. Some aliens frowned. Some leaned closer. There was something in her voice, something they had not expected. Confidence. Cold, dangerous confidence. For the first time, a shadow of doubt passed through the council. And so, the games began. The human ship moved slowly through the giant gates of the council's arena. All around, alien warships floated like silent predators. Their hulls were sharp, shining, and covered with weapons. Compared to them, the human ship looked small, almost fragile. It carried no glowing cannons, no heavy armor. To the alien eyes, it was laughable. From the viewing halls above, thousands of alien eyes watched. Some clicked their jaws, some hissed, and others let out deep growls of amusement. To them, this was not a test. It was entertainment. They are small, one alien whispered, his voice full of scorn. They are weak, another answered. They will not last an hour. Laughter echoed through the chamber. But in the center, the humans did not react. Their ship drifted with quiet confidence, taking its place before the council. Inside the human ship, the crew prepared. The soldiers checked their simple gear. The engineers reviewed their systems. The young cadets stared at the screens, nervous but curious. Every alien race looked down on them as if they were children. But the humans felt something else building inside, something the aliens could not see. The ambassador stood at the front of the control room, hands folded calmly behind her back. Her face was calm, but her words were sharp. Do not let their laughter reach you, she said. They do not understand us. Let them laugh. Soon they will stop. The soldiers nodded. The cadet swallowed his fear. And deep in the ship's core, the engines hummed like a beating heart, steady and patient. High above, the council speaker raised his hand. The chamber grew silent. His voice, deep and commanding, spread through every hall. Humans of Earth, you are welcome to the council's proving ground. Here, your worth will be measured. If you succeed, you may join us. If you fail, your people will never rise again. The words echoed like a hammer. The alien audience cheered, some slamming their claws against the railings. They wanted to see blood. They wanted to see humans beg. But the ambassador only bowed her head slightly, not in fear but in respect. Then she lifted her eyes, calm and steady. We accept your terms. We are ready. A hush fell across the chamber. Something about her tone unsettled the crowd. She did not sound desperate. She did not sound proud. She sounded certain. The first alien delegate, a massive creature covered in bone-like armor, leaned toward his fellow leaders. His voice was low. Strange. They do not tremble. Even now, they look prepared. Another alien scoffed. Prepared? Their ship is a toy. Their weapons are primitive. What can they possibly do? The armored creature said nothing more, but his dark eyes never left the humans. He had seen something others had missed. The council gates opened once more. A massive screen lit up across the arena, showing the first trial. It was an alien world far away, a world where storms raged endlessly and the air itself was poison. Many species had tried to survive there. Few had lasted even a day. This will be their first test, the speaker declared. Survive the world of storms. Let us see how long your kind can endure. The crowd roared with approval. To them, this was already decided. Humans would collapse quickly, just like many before them. Inside the human ship, silence filled the room. The storm world spun on the screens, lightning flashing across endless black clouds. The cadet felt his hand shake. We can't survive that. It's impossible. The ambassador turned to him. Her voice was calm, steady as stone. Nothing is impossible for humans. We have lived in deserts, in frozen wastelands, in burning jungles, and under oceans. We will endure. Do not forget who we are. The cadet's fear lessened. He nodded. The others straightened in their seats. Her words carried more than comfort. They carried memory, the long, painful history of Earth, where survival had always been a fight. The human ship began its descent toward the storm world. From the arena, the aliens leaned forward, eager to watch the humans break. They whispered, laughed, and traded bets. "An hour," one alien said. "Perhaps 2," another added. "No more than that." But as the human ship entered the black clouds, something strange happened. The ship did not slow, it did not panic. Instead, it moved with careful precision, as if it had been here before. Lightning cracked across the sky, but the ship adjusted smoothly. The wind screamed, but the humans pressed forward. The crowd grew quieter. The laughter faded. Confusion spread. Inside the human ship, the engineers smiled. "Storms," one said. "We come from a world of storms. This is nothing new." The cadet watched the lightning flash across the windows. His fear turned into something else. Pride. He realized what the ambassador had meant. The aliens thought this was a nightmare. But to humans, it was only another challenge. Another place to adapt. Another test to survive. Above in the council seats, the armored alien leaned back slowly. His eyes narrowed. "They are not like the others," he whispered. But no one listened. The speaker's voice rose again. "Let the trial begin." The storm world opened its jaws to swallow the humans whole. And yet, as the first wind struck, the humans only moved forward, silent, steady, unbroken. The council had expected weakness. Instead, they felt the first shadow of doubt. The storm world roared with endless fury. Black clouds swirled like angry oceans in the sky, lightning split the darkness, and wind screamed with the strength of giants. For most species, this world was a graveyard. The air was poison, the ground unstable, the storms without mercy. No one survived here for long. That was why the council had chosen it. From the viewing halls of the arena, the alien audience leaned forward, hungry to see the humans fail. Their glowing eyes followed the small human ship as it descended into the chaos. "They will not last a day," an insectoid delegate hissed. "They will not last an hour," another sneered. The crowd laughed, their voices echoing across the great chamber. But as the ship cut through the storm, the laughter began to fade. Inside the ship, alarms blinked red. Systems strained under the pressure of the violent winds. The cadet gripped his chair, his heart pounding. Every crack of lightning made him flinch. "This is madness," he whispered. "How can we survive this?" The ambassador stood behind the pilots, her hand steady on the railing. Her voice was calm, like a quiet river in the middle of the storm. "Breathe. We are children of Earth. Our world has trained us well. We have lived through storms, earthquakes, fires, and floods. This is only another storm." The soldiers exchanged quick glances. The engineers worked fast, adjusting the ship's systems with confidence. And slowly, the cadets' fear began to shrink. The first challenge came quickly. A bolt of lightning smashed into the ground near their landing zone, splitting the surface into burning glass. The winds howled, pulling at the ship with invisible claws. "Stabilizers failing," one pilot shouted. "Redirect power," the engineer ordered calmly. "We've flown through worse turbulence on Earth." The ambassador gave a small nod. "Land us." With precision, the pilots forced the ship down. The hull groaned, the engines screamed, but finally, with a shuddering crash, the ship touched the poisoned ground. Dust and fire rose around it, but the humans were alive. The cadet gasped, relief flooding his chest. "We made it." The ambassador turned her sharp gaze on him. "No, we only arrived. The test begins now." The humans suited up. Their gear looked simple compared to the glowing armor of other species. Yet it was designed with care, filters for toxic air, generators for heat, and tools for survival. They stepped out of the ship into the storm. The ground trembled. The sky screamed. The poisonous air hissed against their helmets. But the humans did not break. Step by step, they moved forward. From the arena above, the aliens watched in silence. Many had expected the humans to collapse immediately. Instead, they saw a calm, organized team working together. Soldiers carried heavy packs, engineers scanned the terrain, and the ambassador led with steady confidence. "Impossible," an alien growled. "They should be choking already," another said in disbelief. But the humans walked on. Hours passed. The storm grew worse. Great rivers of acid rain fell from the sky, burning the ground where they touched. The humans built quick shelters, simple metal frames covered with protective shields. They worked fast, each person moving as if they had done this 1,000 times before. The cadet struggled with his pack, nearly slipping in the mud. A soldier caught his arm, pulling him upright. "Steady, kid. No one gets left behind." The cadet nodded, his heart racing, but also warming. He had feared he would slow them down. But here, every human carried not just themselves, but each other. The ambassador watched, her face unreadable. Finally, she spoke softly. "This is why they will never understand us. They think strength is claws and teeth, but our strength is this unity." Night came. On this world, night was darker than space itself. The storms grew louder, the wind sharper. In the distance, glowing beasts slithered across the horizon, hunting anything that moved. The humans lit no fires. They stayed hidden inside their shelters, whispering in the dark. The cadet's voice was soft, full of doubt. "Do you think they are watching us now?" The ambassador nodded. "Of course they are." "And what do they see?" he asked. Her eyes narrowed. "They see humans doing what we always do, enduring, adapting, surviving." Above, in the council chamber, silence spread. The aliens had expected fear, chaos, weakness. Instead, they saw humans working with quiet determination. No begging, no surrender. The armored alien delegate who had doubted before leaned forward. His voice rumbled low, almost thoughtful. "They endure storms as if they are nothing. What kind of world breeds such creatures?" No one answered. The other leaders shifted uncomfortably. For the first time, they wondered if the humans were not as weak as they had believed. On the storm world, dawn returned with fire-colored skies. The humans emerged from their shelters, exhausted but alive. The cadet stretched his arms, smiling for the first time. "We did it. We survived the night." The ambassador gave him a thin smile. "One night is nothing. The test is not over. Remember, the council want to see our limits." The boy's smile faded. He nodded, realizing the truth. The storm world was only the beginning. High above, the speaker of the council rose again. His voice thundered across the arena. "Humans, you have survived the first trial. But do not think this is victory. The next test will not measure your bodies. It will measure your minds." The crowd roared once more. The humans looked up at the dark sky, silent but ready. And in that silence, the galaxy began to feel something it had not felt in ages. Fear. The humans had survived the storm world. They had walked through poisonous air, lightning, and endless winds, and yet they still stood. The alien crowds were unsettled. Their laughter was gone, replaced by whispers. The council speaker raised his long hand, and silence filled the chamber. His voice carried through every corner. "You have endured storms. But strength of body is not enough. Now we will test the strength of your minds." A new gate opened in the arena. Beyond it was not a planet, not a battlefield, but a strange chamber built from shifting light. Walls bent and twisted like liquid mirrors. Nothing was real, and everything was a trap. "This is a maze of thought," the speaker declared. "It has broken stronger species than you. Survive it, and perhaps you will be worthy." The human team entered the chamber. Instantly, the air felt heavier, the ground uncertain. The cadet looked around with wide eyes. The walls moved like breathing lungs, and voices echoed from nowhere. Whispers called his name, soft and tempting. He shivered. "What is this place?" The ambassador's eyes narrowed. "Illusions. They will use our own minds against us. Remember this. Nothing here is real unless we believe it." The soldiers tightened their grips on their weapons. The engineers adjusted their scanners, but even the machines gave back false readings. The maze was designed to confuse, to break trust, to split groups apart. As they walked deeper, the illusions grew stronger. The cadet suddenly saw his childhood home in front of him. He heard his mother's voice calling gently, "Come back, my son. You don't belong here. Come home." He froze, his heart aching. For a moment, he wanted to step forward, but the ambassador's hand caught his shoulder. Her voice was sharp. "That is not your mother. That is a trap. If you step forward, you will be lost forever. The cadet blinked, tears burning his eyes. The image faded, and once again only shifting walls remained. He swallowed hard, ashamed of his weakness. The ambassador leaned closer and whispered, "Do not be ashamed. They use love and fear because they cannot break us any other way. Hold on to truth. Hold on to us." The cadet nodded, steadier now. The illusions attacked others next. One soldier saw his fallen comrade standing in the mist, accusing him of failing them. An engineer heard voices promising infinite knowledge if only she abandoned her team. Each human was tempted, pushed, and tested. But each time, they pulled each other back. A hand on a shoulder. A steady voice in the darkness. A reminder, we are not alone. Above, the alien audience grew restless. Species who had failed here before shifted uncomfortably in their seats. The maze of thought had destroyed their people with ease. Yet the humans were holding together. "How are they resisting?" One alien hissed. "They should be tearing each other apart." Another growled. The armored alien delegate who had doubted from the beginning spoke quietly. "Because they trust each other. That is their weapon." Hours passed inside the maze. Time itself twisted, making minutes feel like days. Hunger clawed at their minds. Thirst burned their throats. Yet the humans pressed on. At last, they reached the heart of the maze. A great mirror rose before them, taller than any mountain. It showed their reflections, but twisted. The cadet stared in horror. His reflection sneered back at him, filled with anger and cruelty. "This is a true human," the reflection hissed. "You are violent. You are selfish. You are monsters. The galaxy will never accept you." The cadet stepped back, shaken. Was it true? Were they monsters pretending to be civilized? But the ambassador stepped forward. Her voice was cold and clear. "We are many things. We are flawed. We fight. We struggle. But we are also kind, loyal, and unbroken. You want to show us only our darkness, but we carry light as well. That is what makes us human." She lifted her hand, and with a single strike, she shattered the mirror. The maze trembled. The walls of illusion cracked. Light spilled in, burning away the false voices and shadows. And then, with a sound like thunder, the chamber collapsed. The humans staggered out into the arena, tired but alive. They had faced a maze of thought and had not broken. Above, the council chamber was silent. No one laughed now. No one sneered. The speaker's voice was strained, forced. "You have passed the second trial." The crowd murmured uneasily. Some were angry, some afraid. The armored alien leaned closer to the speaker. "They endure storms. They endure illusions. Be careful, speaker. These humans are not like the others." The speaker's eyes narrowed. "Then let us see how they face true fear." Back in their ship, the cadet sat quietly, staring at his hands. He whispered, "They showed me what I fear the most. They showed me myself." The ambassador sat beside him, her expression soft for the first time. "Our fears are not our end. They are our guide. Remember this. Bravery is not the absence of fear. It is walking forward even when fear is with you." The cadet nodded slowly, his eyes brighter. He understood now. The council wanted to break them. But with each trial, they were only becoming stronger. And above, the next gate opened. The ground shook as something massive moved in the shadows. The humans looked up, silent but ready. The council were preparing the monster test. The humans had passed storms. They had survived illusions. But the council was not satisfied. In the arena above, whispers filled the chamber. The alien audience had expected fear, weakness, or surrender. Instead, they saw humans who endured, and that frightened them. The speaker of the council rose, his long shadow stretching across the hall. His voice thundered like a blade. "Strength of body, strength of mind, very well. Let us see if they can face true terror." A massive gate opened below. The ground trembled. The air grew heavy, like the breath of some hidden beast. From the darkness, glowing eyes appeared, red, burning, merciless. The creature stepped into the light. It was larger than any human ship, covered in armored scales. Its claws could shred metal, and its roar shook the walls of the arena. This was no simple beast. It was a weapon created by the Council. Many species had faced it. None had survived. The crowd roared with excitement. They wanted blood. Inside the human ship, silence fell. The cadets stared at the monster with wide eyes. That thing, it's impossible. How can we fight that? One soldier loaded his weapon, though his hands trembled. Our guns won't even scratch it. But the ambassador did not flinch. Her voice was calm, steady as always. Listen carefully. This is not about strength. This is about control. Monsters are only dangerous if we play by their rules. We will not. The humans exchanged looks. Slowly, their fear hardened into resolve. The gate fully opened. The beast roared, shaking the ground. Acid dripped from its fangs. Its claws dug trenches into the earth. The speaker's voice cut across the arena. Humans of Earth, defeat the beast or be destroyed. The creature charged. The cadet froze as the ground shook, but the soldiers moved fast, pulling him back. Stay close. Follow the plan. The beast's claws slammed into the earth, missing them by inches. The shock wave threw the cadet to the ground. Dust filled the air. Guns won't work, one soldier shouted. Then don't use them, the ambassador ordered. Trap it. Use the field. Outsmart it. The humans scattered, moving through the arena. The monster roared again, chasing the loudest target. Its tail smashed into stone, sending shards flying. The engineers worked quickly, setting up devices from their packs. Simple machines, anchors, cables, energy nets. Nothing special compared to alien technology, but built with human creativity. Left flank, a soldier shouted. He fired not at the beast, but at the ground near its feet. Explosives cracked, shaking the soil. The monster stumbled for a moment, confused. The cadet's heart pounded as he crawled behind cover. His mind raced. For the first time, he realized humans were not trying to fight the monster directly. They were forcing it into position. Minutes passed in chaos. The beast destroyed pillars, roared at the sky, and tore holes in the arena floor. But the humans moved like hunters. Small, fast, always just out of reach. Now, the ambassador shouted. The engineers activated their traps. Energy nets launched, wrapping around the monster's legs. Anchors exploded, locking the cables into the ground. The beast roared in fury, thrashing against the bindings. The arena shook, but the trap held, for now. The cadet stayed, shocked. We actually stopped it. The ambassador's voice was sharp. Not stopped, delayed. Now finish it. The humans did not have heavy weapons. They had something else, brains. Working together, they lured the monster toward the traps again and again. Each time it freed itself, another snare waited. Each time it struck, humans slipped away, guiding it into its own mistakes. Finally, the beast stumbled into the deepest trap. Explosives triggered under its weight, collapsing the ground beneath it. With a roar that shook the stars, the monster fell into the pit, buried under stone and dust. Silence filled the arena. The humans stood at the edge, breathing hard, covered in dirt and sweat. They had not slain the beast, but they had beaten it. Above, the alien crowd was stunned. Their cheers died. Their laughter vanished. For the first time, fear rippled through the chamber. They didn't kill it, one alien muttered. They didn't need to, another answered. They won without brute force. The armored alien delegate's voice was low and grim. Do you see now? They are not the strongest. They are not the fastest. But they are dangerous, because they never fight as expected. The speaker's jaw tightened. His plan to humiliate humanity had failed again. Back in the ship, the cadet sat on the floor, exhausted. His body shook, but his eyes were bright. We beat a monster, something no one else could. A soldier laughed weakly. Not with strength, with teamwork, with patience. The ambassador looked at them all, her face serious. Remember this. The council wanted us to show power. But power is not only muscle. True power is refusing to play by their rules. They still think we are polite. They still think we are holding back. Let them believe it, for now. The crew fell silent, realizing her meaning. If humanity could survive storms, illusions, and monsters while still holding back, What would happen when they stopped? Outside, the council prepared the next trial. Shadows moved in the holes. Whispers spread among the delegates. Fear was growing, and the humans waited, calm as ever, for whatever came next. The monster was gone, buried beneath stone and fire. The humans had not killed it with strength, but with cunning, and that terrified the council more than victory by brute force ever could. In the arena above, silence hung like a heavy cloak. The alien audience shifted uneasily. Some hissed in anger, others whispered in fear. They had wanted to see humans crushed. Instead, they had seen humans win again, calmly, patiently, and without fear. The speaker of the council rose, his voice trembling with hidden fury. You have survived storms. You have endured illusions. You have defeated our beast. But do not think this makes you powerful. You are nothing compared to the might of the galaxy. Nothing. The humans stood silently. They did not argue. They did not bow. Their silence itself felt like defiance. Back inside their ship, the crew gathered. Dust still clung to their suits. Their bodies ached, but their eyes were sharp. The cadet finally spoke, his voice quiet but heavy. Why are they still testing us? Haven't we proved enough? The ambassador turned toward him, her gaze cold but steady. The council does not want us to pass. They want us to fail. They want to humiliate us in front of the galaxy. That is their true goal. The soldiers exchanged grim looks. The engineers tightened their jaws. Everyone knew what this meant. The worst was still ahead. Hours later, the next trial was announced. But this time, it was different. The council revealed not a storm, not a maze, not a beast. Instead, they brought forth weapons. On massive platforms, alien machines unfolded, cannons larger than houses, ships bristling with energy blades, bombs that could shatter moons. The arena filled with deadly light. The speaker's voice echoed. Humans, you claim endurance. You claim unity. But against true weapons, you will break. Show us your technology. Show us your power. The crowd cheered wildly. This was what they wanted. They wanted to see humanity's weapons, compare them, and then laugh. Inside the human ship, the cadet felt panic rise. We can't match that. Our weapons are nothing compared to theirs. For a long moment, the ambassador said nothing. Then, slowly, she spoke. You are right. Our weapons are not like theirs, and that is why they should be afraid. The crew stared at her, confused, but the soldiers nodded slowly, as if they understood. The humans stepped forward. The ambassador addressed the council, her voice steady and polite. You want us to show our weapons. Very well. But remember, what we reveal cannot be unseen. The speaker smirked, his teeth sharp. Then show us. Show us what Earth calls strength. The humans activated a display from their ship. A hologram appeared in the air, vast oceans, mountains, and cities of Earth. And then, fire. The crowd gasped as the humans revealed their hidden history. Wars, explosions, weapons of destruction, nuclear fire consuming cities, bombs flattening entire landscapes. Machines of war built not for defense, but for annihilation. The cadet's voice was shaky as he watched. Why? Why show them this? It makes us look like monsters. The ambassador's eyes never left the council. No, it shows them the truth, that we are dangerous when pushed. They must know. The alien crowd fell silent. They had never seen such destruction from such a young species. Their weapons were advanced, yes, but rarely used in such ruthless ways. The humans had turned their own world into a battlefield and still survived. An alien delegate whispered in fear. They burned their own world and lived. Another muttered, if they could do this to themselves, what would they do to others? The armored alien delegate leaned forward, his eyes narrow. This is a hidden weapon, not machines, not ships. It is their will to survive, no matter the cost. The speaker's voice cracked with anger. Tricks, old wars. You cannot frighten us with shadows of your past. But even as he spoke, unease spread among the council. They could see the humans were not bluffing. They could see the calm confidence in their eyes. The ambassador gave a polite bow. Her voice was soft, but each word cut like steel. You asked for our weapons. We have shown them. But understand this, what you have seen today is only a fraction. We do not reveal all. We never reveal all. The silence that followed was heavier than any roar. Back in their ship, the cadet whispered to the ambassador, "Was it wise to show them that? Now they fear us." The ambassador looked at him. Her voice was quiet. "Good. Let them fear us. Fear is the only language some powers understand." The cadet swallowed hard. He realized something in that moment. The Council had wanted to measure Earth's limits, but humanity was showing that their true limit was far, far beyond what the galaxy imagined. Above, the speaker clenched his fists. His plan was failing. Every test, every attempt to break the humans, only revealed more strength. His voice was low and bitter. "Then we must push harder. We will strip away their politeness. We will force them to reveal what they really are." The next trial was already being prepared. And deep inside, the Council began to regret the path they had chosen. The Council was restless. Every test had failed. Storms had not broken the humans. Illusions had not fooled them. Even the monster had fallen into their traps. And then came the revelation of Earth's hidden weapon, its history of destruction, its will to survive. The speaker could feel control slipping away. Fear spread among the delegates like fire in dry grass. If he did not act now, the Council would lose faith forever. He slammed his hand against the table. "No more tricks. No more games. We will crush them. If they will not break in body, we will break them in spirit." The chamber rumbled with approval. And so, the cruelest trial was prepared. Inside the human ship, the crew waited. The cadet's hands trembled as he adjusted his uniform. He tried to sound brave, but his voice cracked. "What do you think they'll throw at us this time?" The ambassador's gaze was calm, but her jaw was tight. "This time, it will not be about strength. It will be about dignity. They will try to humiliate us." The soldiers nodded grimly. They had seen this tactic before, not from aliens, but from history. Empires on Earth had always used fear, pain, and shame to control others. The Council was about to try the same. The humans were summoned into the Great Hall, not the arena this time. The chamber was enormous, glowing with alien light. At the center stood the speaker, tall and proud, his voice echoing across the hall. "Humans of Earth, you think yourselves strong. You think endurance makes you equal. But you are not equal. You are beneath us. Today, you will learn your place." At his signal, the floor of the hall shifted. Holograms rose into the air, images of Earth's poorest streets, its wars, its mistakes. They showed famine, chaos, and despair. The alien audience laughed cruelly. "Look at them. A savage world, barely climbing from the date. They think they can stand among us? Pathetic." The cadet clenched his fists. His face burned with shame. "They are mocking us, twisting the truth." A soldier placed a hand on his shoulder. "Steady. That's what they want. They want you angry." But the humiliation did not stop there. The Council guard stepped forward, dragging something behind them. The cadet gasped. It was human prisoners, civilians captured during Earth's first contact raids. Their faces were pale, frightened. The speaker's voice thundered. "Look at your people. They are weak. They beg. They cry. Kneel before us, and perhaps we will show them mercy." The crowd roared with laughter. The Council wanted one thing, to see humanity bow. The cadet's body shook with rage. He took a step forward, ready to shout, ready to fight. But the ambassador's voice cut through like a blade. "Stand still." Her tone was sharp, unshakable. The cadet froze, confused. "But they are hurting our people." The ambassador's eyes burned like fire, though her face remained calm. "Yes, and they think by insulting us, by threatening us, they can break us. But hear me, true strength is not in rage. True strength is refusing to kneel when the whole galaxy demands it." The soldiers straightened. The engineers raised their chins. Together, they stood tall, silent, proud, unbroken. The speaker sneered. "You will kneel, humans, or your people will suffer." Still, the ambassador did not move. Her voice was quiet but carried across the hall. "We will not kneel. Not today. Not ever. If you harm them, you will only prove to the galaxy what we already know, that you are cowards hiding behind cruelty. Gasps filled the chamber. No one had ever spoken to the council this way. The speaker's face twisted with fury. Insolent. You dare. But then, something unexpected happened. The prisoners, the captured humans, saw their leaders standing tall. And one by one, even in chains, they stood straighter too. They did not cry. They did not beg. They faced the council with the same unbroken gaze. The chamber grew tense. The laughter died. The armored alien delegate, who had watched in silence, finally spoke. His voice was low but heavy. Do you see? They will not break. Not by storms. Not by beasts. Not even by shame. The humans are different. Some aliens nodded uneasily. Others whispered in fear. The speaker slammed his fist down again. Enough. If they will not bend, then they will burn. Prepare the final trial. If Earth refuses to kneel, then Earth will bleed. Back in their ship, the cadet's heart pounded. He whispered, We didn't kneel, but at what cost? What if they kill the prisoners? The ambassador placed a hand on his shoulder. Her voice was firm. Then they prove themselves monsters before the galaxy, and monsters always fall. The soldiers exchanged a look. The engineers tightened their fists. Every one of them felt it. The line had been crossed. Politeness had held so far. But now, the council was forcing something dangerous awake. The cadet realized it with a shiver. They wanted to see our limits. Soon, they will. The council thought they had control. They thought humans would kneel. But instead, the humans stood taller than ever. The humiliation had failed. The threats had failed. The prisoners stood unbroken. The council's plan to shame Earth had collapsed. And in that silence, something dangerous began to rise. The speaker's voice cracked with rage. Enough. You will obey, or you will burn. Bring the final weapon. The floor shook. Massive doors opened. From below, a colossal cannon rose, glowing with deadly energy. It was the council's ultimate tool of judgment, capable of vaporizing entire fleets in seconds. The alien crowd roared, hungry for blood. The cadet's heart froze. That thing could destroy Earth itself. The ambassador's eyes narrowed, her voice calm as ever. They want to erase us, not test us. Very well, then we erase the game. The humans returned to their ship. The soldiers stood at their stations. The engineers powered up the systems. The cadet, still trembling, looked at the ambassador. What are we going to do? We can't fight that cannon. We don't have the firepower. The ambassador's expression hardened. No, cadet, we don't fight with firepower. We fight with what makes us human. Her voice dropped lower, almost a whisper. We fight with unity, with memory, with every lesson carved into us from the day we stood upright on Earth. And if they want to see our limits, she turned toward the stars, then they will. The council gave the order. The giant cannon began to charge. Energy hummed across the chamber, shaking the very air. The crowd screamed with excitement. And then the human ship moved, not forward, not backward, but up, straight into the center of the chamber. For a heartbeat, all eyes were on it. The ambassador's voice echoed through every speaker, every translator, reaching every alien A. You wanted our weapons. You wanted our limits. You wanted to strip away our politeness. Now you will see what comes after. The human ship did not fire lasers. It did not unleash bombs. Instead, the humans released something smaller. Tiny drones spread out, carrying not explosives, but signals. Waves of coded transmissions filled the chamber, hacking into alien systems at lightning speed. Lights flickered. Weapons shut down. Control panels died. The council cannon, moment from firing, sputtered and went dark. The crowd gasped in horror. The cadet whispered, shocked. How? How did we do that? We never built weapons that powerful. One engineer gave a grim smile. Not weapons. Knowledge. We study, we adapt, we find the cracks no one else sees. That is humanity's hidden weapon. The ambassador's eyes locked on the council. You tried to measure us by your rules. But our strength has never been in technology alone. Our strength is that we learn. Every test, every cruelty, every trap, you taught us more about you than you ever meant to. And now, the galaxy sees you powerless before us. The chamber exploded into chaos. Delegates shouted in fear. Some demanded retreat. Others argued, their voices trembling. But above the noise, the armored alien delegate stood. His gaze was fixed on the humans, and for the first time, there was respect in his voice. They cannot be broken. And if they cannot be broken, then they cannot be ruled. The speaker staggered forward, fury and fear burning in his eyes. You dare humiliate the council. You think you can stand equal with us. The ambassador answered softly, No, not equal. Different, dangerous, and polite only as long as you deserve it. Her voice sharpened like steel. You wanted to see our limits. You have, and now you regret it. The prisoners were released. The humans gathered together, side by side, their heads high. The cadet looked around the chamber, at the fearful faces of alien leaders, and whispered, half to himself. They thought politeness was weakness. They thought mercy was surrender. But mercy ends. Politeness ends. The ambassador placed a hand on his shoulder. And when it ends, cadet, that is when humanity truly begins. The human ship rose from the chamber, its engines blazing. The council, once so mighty, could only watch as the galaxy's newest power left without bowing, without breaking. Every alien in the whole knew it in their bones. Earth had survived every test. Earth had shown restraint. But one day, if pushed too far, Earth would no longer be polite. And nothing in the galaxy would survive that day.